Congressman, good morning to you.
Sandra, how are you?
You woke up this morning, you look back at what happened yesterday, and what did you think?
Well, I'm pretty disgusted at what happened. It was really a national disgrace. We were there to talk about election, the election and debate the issues with the election in terms of some of the states that, there were some questions about, and all of that got interrupted by the mob. Absolutely a mob. And, I've seen Tracer coming in on me in Iraq and Afghanistan. So it was nothing compared to that, but it was deeply disturbing for our country. Many people have mentioned 1814, the last time something like this happened. As a military guy and a guy who's pretty much given his life to this country, it was disturbing.
Congressman, you, of course, are looking back at your time as a combat vet. You have experience seeing battle. You were in that room. What did you do? What was your instinct when you saw that mob coming?
Well, I was actually moving out of the House chamber into the tunnels as it all happened, so I got more sounds than actual visual input, but heard the chaos. They started yelling, go to a safe place, so we kind of went down into the tunnels, and then I went to an undisclosed location where we sort of barred ourselves in, and my staff and I stayed there really until about 8 or 9 o'clock last night, locked in that room.
Did you ever think that the Capitol could be breached, that there could be this massive of a security breach, sir?
No, I really never thought this could happen. I think the Capitol Police are great, and they did a fantastic job yesterday. I think there'll be an after-action review that looks at, whether the intelligence information was good or whether or not they were prepared based on the intelligence information they had. All those questions have to be asked. But overall, I think the Capitol Police did a really good job with the assets that they had available for yesterday.
The president has now committed to a peaceful transition of power come Inauguration Day, sir. You have often shown your support for him. Where does that stand this morning?
I think right now what I'm focused on, we're about 24 hours out of the, Capitol of the United States being stormed. I think we got a lot of healing to do before we can think about what's next.
What's your message to him and how he could do that? We heard a very strong message from the president-elect Joe Biden yesterday. We saw that video message from the president calling for an end to the violence. What more would you ask of him to do in the wake of this?
I think what we all need to be doing is reflecting on what happened yesterday, to consider, what it is that caused that in our society. Since earlier this year with the Antifa stuff in Portland and the tragic riots that happened after George Floyd, and now this, there's something deeper going on. And I don't know if it's, because we're not face to face and we're talking to each other over Facebook and saying things that we wouldn't say in person, and then that's sort of taken down the barrier. So we say things that now we previously wouldn't have said. I think there's just been this, something's changed. And we really got to look deep into our hearts and maybe start putting America ahead of ourselves. I think all of us need to be thinking about that, and not just, who's running for what. There's something very deep going on here, and it's about the condition of our heart, Sandra. All of us need to be introspective and put America first, and not our own unique, specific, desires.
It's remarkable as we look back at these pictures this morning, as you were talking, some of those pictures of a man who took the seat of Nancy Pelosi's chair in her office, a man who took the seat of Mike Pence's seat that he had occupied just moments earlier. It is just a remarkable thing. We all watched it in real time yesterday, couldn't believe what we were seeing, and now we look back this morning. A final thought from you, sir, as you went through that in a completely different way. You were inside that building, I'm sure, fearing for your life.
Well, I don't know so much that I had fear for my life. So many years of experience in handling these kinds of situations. I was more concerned about my staff and my classmates, my fellow classmates. One of the things I did was just start calling around and texting all my class to make sure they were safe. But it's just very disturbing. I mean, when you think about the United States Capitol and the freedom that that symbolizes, and then you get mob rule yesterday, we've got a lot of introspection to do, Sandra, a lot.
Sir, we're glad you're okay. Thank you for coming on with us this morning, and we'll have you back soon. Thank you.